Today in Los Angeles, we're talking taxes, justice, and some surprising local headlines.
All right, let's set the stage for this one.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles. First up, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law imposing a 100% tax aimed at any payments from a so-called anti-weaponization fund tied to former President Trump's proposed $1.8 billion program. Newsom is California's governor. Under the law, if any Californian receives money from that federal fund, the state would tax every dollar of it from 2026 through 2030. The idea is to make sure the state doesn't financially benefit from payments the administration views as politicized settlements. The federal fund is currently blocked in court. A judge has paused it, so this law is a preemptive move to align with the state's values. There's virtually no precedent for a state to impose a targeted 100% tax like this.
That's so wild. 100% tax is like the policy equivalent of saying not here. The state's signaling a stance on democratic norms and the rule of law, but I do wonder, why pass it now if the fund is stuck in federal court? Is this mostly a values marker, or were there Californians actually expecting checks soon?
Yeah, that's a solid point. It feels mostly preventive. If the court order lifts and money starts flowing, California doesn't want to incentivize it. A 100% tax would zero out any personal financial gain. You'd receive the payment and then owe the same amount in state tax, which is a strong deterrent.
Next up, Moorpark man sentenced for a fatal clash at a Thousand Oaks Palestine rally. Loe Abdel Fattah al-Naji, 53 and from Moorpark, pleaded guilty to felony involuntary manslaughter and battery causing serious bodily injury in the 2023 death of Paul Kessler. Thousand Oaks is just northwest of the Valley, out in Ventura County. This started as a verbal dispute at a demonstration, then escalated. Kessler fell, suffered fatal head injuries, and later died. In May this year, al-Naji entered those guilty pleas. He's now sentenced to 1 year in jail and 2 years of probation, with the jail term set to begin in August 2026.
Honestly, that sentence caught me off guard. 1 year in jail for a death, even with an involuntary manslaughter plea, is shorter than I expected. I get that involuntary means there wasn't intent to kill. It's about reckless actions that lead to death. Still, given the setting at a charged protest, it raises questions about how we handle violence that erupts in these tense public moments.
Right? And probation, just to define it quickly, is court-ordered supervision out of custody. It limits freedom, but isn't jail time. The district attorney's office pushed back on the leniency. For families and communities, these outcomes carry a lot of emotional weight because people are trying to make sense of the harm and the accountability piece.
Next up, fugitive fraudster's partner faces jail time for aiding his escape. Bernhard Eugen Fritsch, a Malibu resident, is accused of defrauding investors of more than $20 million through a tech pitch tied to a celebrity and influencer app. After his wire fraud conviction in April 2025, prosecutors say he fled to Mexico, then to Germany. Germany generally doesn't extradite its own citizens. Extradite means sending someone back to another country for trial or prison. He was later sentenced in absentia, meaning while not present, to 15 years and ordered to pay large fines and restitution. His girlfriend, Lucinda Jane Weist-Manera, has now pleaded guilty to helping him escape and faces up to 5 years in prison. Prosecutors say she helped him hide in Mexico and move on to Germany. It's a reminder that assisting a fugitive carries real criminal exposure, even if you're not the one who ran the scam.
Totally. And the international angle makes this so thorny. Once someone gets to a country that won't send its citizens back, the practical path to justice narrows a lot. Also, the lifestyle piece here stands out. Prosecutors said he was rolling in a Rolls-Royce and living in a Malibu mansion, all funded by fraud. That contrast between image and reality is like a classic red flag, right?
Yeah, that checks out. Flashy purchases from a supposedly early-stage app? That's one for the memory bank. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Next up, LA halts non-citizen voting and police oversight proposals for the November ballot. The Los Angeles City Council decided to postpone two possible charter changes. One would have allowed some non-citizens, like green card holders and DACA recipients, to vote in local elections. DACA is a federal program protecting certain people who were brought to the U.S. as children from deportation. The second proposal aimed to increase city council oversight of the police department, essentially adding more checks on how the department operates. These ideas are part of a broader effort to rewrite the city charter, which is like the city's constitution. But with legal threats from the police union and community concerns on both sides, the council chose to hit pause and study more. For context, San Francisco allows non-citizens to vote in school board elections. LA looked at that model, but faced warnings about legal risks if it went broader. So for now, nothing hits the November ballot.
Speaking of which, this really shows how complex civic changes can get. Expanding who can vote locally could boost engagement for folks who live and pay taxes here but aren't citizens, and stronger police oversight could mean more transparency. But the legal lanes are narrow. If the city moves too fast, it risks court challenges that could sink the whole effort. Slower isn't exciting, but sometimes it avoids a legal faceplant. Why not put a smaller pilot on the ballot first, like school boards only?
That might be where they end up. A phased approach can surface the practical issues before scaling up. Real talk, though, the demand for change isn't going away, so the debate will be back.
Last up, Marine declared dead after disappearing in a San Diego training exercise. Lance Corporal Armando Ortiz Canseco, 21 years old and part of the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit, went missing during training off the coast. He enlisted in April 2023. A massive search covered about 2,400 square miles, with the Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Air Force involved. After 2 days, the mission transitioned from search to recovery, and he's been declared deceased. The cause is under investigation.
What a heartbreaking loss. The scope of that search says so much about the effort, but it also underscores how dangerous training at sea can be. His family has been notified, and it's important we remember there are real risks even outside combat. To the service members training off our coast, we're holding space for you and your families. This has been Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles.
Stay safe out there and join us again tomorrow.